So CB, I have a question, yeah? Is Jesus the only way?
Is Jesus the only way? The only way to where? Don't worry, I get a question. Is Jesus the only way? Oh yes, Jesus is the only way. Now, why do I say that Jesus is the only way? Jesus makes such a statement in John chapter 14. Now, I'm going to read, he actually makes a statement in verse 6. But I'm going to start from verse 1. Now, verse 1, he literally starts talking about the fact that if you believe in God, you also believe in me. And in verse 2, he talks about mansions. And verse 3, he talks about he going to prepare a way. And verse 4, then verse 5, Thomas asks the question, hey, no, because in verse 4, he actually says that he's going to prepare the way. So in other words, Thomas is asking verse 5, that, hey, wait, which way are you talking about? Because we don't know the way. And how can we even know how to get there? And then Jesus in verse 6 proudly said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can get to the Father except through me. Now, we need to understand, if you want to really get this in its right perspective, you have to go way back. Now, mind you, the Old Testament is a complementary of the New Testament. Both of them are all the same. They are all reflecting Jesus Christ from the beginning to the end. So when we go way back in Genesis chapter 1, the Bible says, let us create man in our own image. In the image of God, He created him, male and female. So then in other words, when you go to chapter 3, realize that in the dew of the night, God comes into fellowship with man. So there was a fellowship. So in other words, we were in the image and likeness of God before man ate of the fruit of the knowledge of what's good and evil. And God had to kick man out because He didn't want them to eat of the fruit of life for sin to remain forever. In Genesis chapter 5, we get to see the fact that Adam begot Seth in his own image. So all of us became the image of Adam. That is the knowledge of what's good and evil. So now Jesus is saying that if you want to now get closer to the Father, you want to now fellowship with the Father, you want to now have a communion with the Father, you have to come through me, because I am now serving as the bridge. I'm now serving as the pathway. I'm now serving as the only secured way to God. So that is why He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can get to the Father except through me. So yes, Jesus is the way. If you have not accepted Jesus, just ask Him to come and live within you tonight or today or this afternoon or this morning, wherever you are listening at whatever time, and He's going to come and reside in you. God bless you.